When I first heard about One Piece, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I'd heard it was huge, one of the most popular and longest-running manga and anime series in the world. But back then, it was just a name. Then, when I actually started watching it, I was immediately hooked. Not just because it's about pirates, treasure, and adventure, but because it's so much more than that. It's a massive, immersive world filled with heart, humor, and some of the most memorable characters I've ever encountered. At the heart of the story is a boy named Monkey D. Luffy, a seemingly simple, carefree guy with a straw hat and an even bigger dream, to become the king of the pirates. But why does he want that? Well, because being the king of the pirates means finding the One Piece, the legendary treasure left behind by the Pirate King, Goldie Roger. But this treasure isn't just about gold or jewels. It symbolizes ultimate freedom and adventure, a chance to live life on your own terms. What blew me away is that this colossal story, spanning decades and hundreds of episodes, is the brainchild of one person, Eiichiro Oda. He started drawing One Piece back in 1997 when he was still pretty young. Oda was inspired by classic pirate tales, fantasy stories, and the idea of creating a world that felt alive and vibrant. And that's exactly what he did. He built a universe that feels endless, full of islands, cultures, mysteries, and characters that never stop surprising you. The sheer scale of the One Piece world is mind-blowing. Every new island introduces a completely new culture, challenges, and tone. You could think of it like a vast ocean with countless little worlds floating on its surface, each with its own history and secrets. And the characters, oh man, the characters. They're not just generic heroes or villains. Every single person you meet has a unique backstory, motivations, dreams, and flaws. Even the smallest side character can leave a lasting impression, and you start to care deeply about their fate. One Piece first aired as an anime in 1999, and it's still going strong today, over 2 decades later. That's incredible by any standard, but what's even more amazing is that the quality rarely dips. Oda is deeply involved in the production, often delaying new chapters to keep the story consistent and tight. You can tell he's passionate. This is literally his life's work, and that dedication shines through every arc, every fight, every heartfelt moment. Here's a fun fact: Oda keeps many key plot details, and the ultimate fate of the characters secret. He treats the story like a journey on a ship, where each reader or viewer is a fellow traveler discovering new horizons. He said the ending has been planned for years, but the excitement comes from the voyage itself, the twists, the mysteries, the bonds formed along the way. Here's a fun fact: Oda keeps many key plot details, and the ultimate fate of the character's secret. He treats the story like a journey on a ship, where each reader or viewer is a fellow traveler discovering new horizons. He said the ending has been planned for years, but the excitement comes from the voyage itself, the twists, the mysteries, the bonds formed along the way. For me personally, One Piece isn't just a show or a comic. It's a life lesson wrapped in a swashbuckling adventure. Themes like loyalty, friendship, justice, and chasing dreams against all odds hit hard. It's a reminder that no matter how tough life gets, you have to keep pushing forward and stay true to yourself and your friends. It's these layers that keep me coming back, episode after episode, chapter after chapter. If you've never jumped into this world, I seriously recommend you do. Because One Piece isn't just about pirates or treasure. It's about hope, courage, and the power of believing in something bigger than yourself. Every laugh, every tear, every epic showdown pulls you deeper into a story. That's as much about growing up as it is about sailing the seas. If there's one thing that truly makes One Piece stand out, it's the characters. And not just the main cast, but every single person who crosses the story's path. From the very start, the protagonist's crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, aren't your typical band of heroes. Each member has a deeply personal story, flaws, quirks, and motivations that make them feel like real people, not just cartoon characters. Let me tell you about them, because they are the heart and soul of this journey. There's Luffy, of course, the fearless captain who's rubbery thanks to eating a mystical devil fruit. What makes him so captivating isn't just his strength or his dream, but his unwavering loyalty and infectious optimism. He's the kind of leader who inspires people not because he's perfect, but because he never gives up and always believes in his friends. Then you have Zoro, the swordsman with a stoic demeanor and a fierce sense of honor. His goal, to become the world's greatest swordsman. What I love about Zoro is his quiet strength and incredible determination. He's a bit rough around the edges, but fiercely protective of his crewmates. The kind of guy you want by your side in a fight. Nami, the navigator, is another standout. Initially introduced as a thief with a mysterious past, she gradually reveals a tragic backstory and a huge heart. Her dream is to map the entire world, and her skills keep the crew safe as they navigate dangerous seas. Plus, her mix of cunning and compassion adds a lot of depth. There is also Usopp, the sharpshooter and master storyteller whose bravado masks deep insecurities. His character arc is amazing because he evolves from a cowardly liar into a brave and reliable warrior, showing how courage isn't about being fearless but pushing forward despite fear. Sanji, the cook with a soft spot for women and an iron will to find the legendary All Blue, a mythical sea filled with all kinds of fish. His chivalry mixed with unmatched fighting skills adds a unique flavor to the crew's dynamic. Then we get into the more fantastical members: Chopper, the adorable reindeer doctor who ate a devil fruit, allowing him to transform into different forms. Robin, the archaeologist with a dark past and the ability to sprout limbs from anywhere thanks to her powers. Frankie, the eccentric shipwright who built their ship, the Thousand Sunny, out of sheer passion and skill. Brooke, the skeletal musician who brings both comic relief and unexpected wisdom. And Jinbe, the fishman helmsman with a strong sense of honor and peace. Each member isn't just a fighter or a companion, they represent themes of hope, resilience, and the pursuit of dreams. Their stories often touch on heavy issues: loss, discrimination, betrayal. But through their bonds, the series delivers powerful messages about acceptance and redemption. Now, let's talk about the world they sail through, the Grand Line and beyond. One Piece's world is one of the most richly developed in any manga or anime. The seas are divided into different areas, each with unique climates, cultures, and dangers. Some islands are tropical paradises, others are frozen wastelands or dystopian city-states ruled by tyrants. The sheer creativity in designing these places is jaw-dropping. What makes this world feel alive is how Oda weaves real-world influences and entirely original ideas into every corner. There are nods to history, mythology, and global cultures, but twisted and combined in a way that's uniquely One Piece. The politics, the factions, the mysterious organizations like the Marines, the World Government, and the Revolutionary Army all add layers of complexity to what could have been a simple pirate tale. And then there are the Devil Fruits, mystical fruits that grant users bizarre and powerful abilities, but at the cost of their ability to swim. This creates interesting dynamics in battles and strategies, making fights unpredictable and exciting. Luffy's Gum Gum Fruit, for example, turns his body into rubber, allowing for imaginative and often hilarious combat. The story is packed with memorable arcs that each introduce new characters and moral dilemmas, from the tragic backstory of the Fishman Island, highlighting themes of racism and reconciliation, to the dystopian tyranny of Dressrosa, where freedom and justice take center stage. For me, what seals the deal is how the world building is so tightly connected to the characters' growth. The places they visit aren't just backdrops, they're integral to the story's emotional impact and the crew's evolution. It makes the adventure feel epic and personal at the same time. So, if you love stories where the world itself is a character, filled with endless surprises and emotional depth, One Piece delivers on a scale that's hard to match. So, here we are, the last part of my One Piece journey. After diving into the incredible characters and the expansive world, it's time to talk about what really makes this series stick with you long after the episodes end. Beyond the action, the laughs, and the epic battles, One Piece is a story deeply rooted in universal themes that resonate on a human level. At its core, One Piece is about freedom. The freedom to chase your dreams, to live life on your own terms, and to find your own path, no matter the obstacles. The protagonist's dream of becoming the Pirate King isn't just about ruling the seas. It's a symbol of ultimate freedom. And every member of the crew has their own version of freedom they fight for, whether it's breaking free from a painful past, societal chains, or personal doubts. What really hit me is how often the series explores friendship and loyalty. The bonds between the Straw Hats aren't just convenient plot devices. They're the heartbeats of the entire story. They fight, argue, suffer losses, and grow together. There's a genuine sense of family, messy, complicated, but unbreakable. It's those moments of sacrifice and trust that make the emotional highs so powerful. Another powerful theme is justice and morality, but in a way that isn't black and white. One Piece thrives in the gray areas. The so-called heroes and villains are often morally complex. Some antagonists have tragic backstories and understandable motivations, while the heroes sometimes make morally questionable choices. This nuanced storytelling adds a layer of realism and makes the viewer question their own ideas about right and wrong. What's more, the story doesn't shy away from serious social issues: discrimination, corruption, abuse of power, and the fight for equality, all woven seamlessly into the narrative. The Fishman Island arc, for example, confronts racism head-on, showing the pain it causes and the hope for reconciliation. These moments add weight and relevance, elevating One Piece beyond typical adventure fare. Now, let's talk about the legacy. One Piece is one of the longest-running and best-selling manga anime series in history. It's been ongoing since 1997 and continues to inspire new generations of fans around the globe. That's no small feat. Its impact on pop culture, manga storytelling, and the anime industry is immense. Creators worldwide cite it as an influence, and its themes of perseverance and friendship resonate universally. For me personally, watching or reading One Piece feels like embarking on a lifelong adventure. It's not just entertainment. It's a story that challenges you to dream bigger, to stay loyal to those you love, and to stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. The art style evolves, the animation quality grows, and the story arcs get more intense, but the heart of One Piece remains constant. The belief in hope, courage, and the unbreakable human spirit. If you're looking for a story with depth, humor, heart, and adventure that can make you laugh one minute and cry the next, One Piece is the ultimate journey. It's a treasure chest full of unforgettable moments, lessons, and characters who become like family. And honestly, once you dive into it, you'll understand why millions have fallen in love with this epic tale of pirates, dreams, and freedom.